Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another live stream. Have you guys missed me? It has been a while since we've done one of these live streams. I've missed you guys. I've been knocking these out maybe like, I don't know, once every week or two. But I like to do them on houses that I've just got a ton of samples on, and I'm not going to do individual reviews, or if I will, I don't know if the house deserves full reviews. So I think this is a good way to kind of just do a deep dive into a house. Man, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. Let's look at it. Look at everyone waiting. You guys are excited about Jusbox or what? Let's check on some of the comments. What's happening? Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. It's a beautiful Sunday here in Texas. Probably gonna go knock out a run after this. It's gonna be a good one. Get to sniff some new perfumes I've never smelled yet, or I might have sprayed one or two on a card, but I have not put these on skin yet. So this is going to be a first for me. Let's see. Let's make sure the microphone's working, the camera's working. Let's see. Audio. Yep. Says we're ready to rock and roll. How's everyone doing? What's everyone wearing today? What's everyone's scent of the day? I keep saying I need to do one of these live streams where I just sort of, just don't even have like a topic. Just get on here and kick the shit with everyone, because there's always topics that come up that people want to talk about. Perfumes they want to discuss that aren't on the agenda. Rich Mitch, welcome, my friend. Rich did a fantastic Dior Homme comparison video a couple days back. If you haven't seen that, I'd urge you to check that out. Dushan rocking Antaeus today, I hear. It's good stuff. That's good juice. Jonathan, the EDT, Rich Mitch, the EDP, and I'm the X-Ray. The X-Ray stays closer to the skin, though. That's right. Sent for the stream, Antaeus. I'm glad you found yourself a vintage bottle, my friend. Nah, Aramis. You guys are rocking all my favorites. Even Richwood. I would love a bottle of Richwood, but I want the older bottle design, and they're really hard to come by. People think they're like sitting on a lottery ticket or something because they've got an old bottle of Xerjoff. I am not giving someone $700 for a vintage bottle of Richwood because they think it has Mysore sandalwood in it or something. No way. Good evening. Good evening. Ah, you're wearing Koros, Norwin. Yes, I'm in Koros Eau de Sport today. This stuff is fire. This is probably one of the best sport fragrances out there. Even this bottle, it's plastic, so you can stick it in a gym bag. It's so 80s. We need a French speaker to translate. We need a French speaker to translate, and I'm too lazy to type that into. I'm guessing this says an explosion of something essences and fresh aromatiques, and that is spices, prolonged woody notes, and animalics. Maybe we don't need a French speaker. Maybe I can just encens. Is that incense and sandalwood? Anyways. Koros Eau de Sport is my scent of the day today, and I have been caked in this shit. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to spray it. I'm not going to spray it because I'm going to be spraying Jusbox. I was going to just spray the shit out of that. I wouldn't be able to smell a single Jusbox perfume if I did that. I'm glad I waited. I can smell the spray from 12 hours ago. The stuff is an absolute monster. Welcome, Bowza. Thanks for dropping by, my friend. Norwin is the king. Hello, hello. Un Amoret. Never smelled it, Yoshi. Look who's here. Who is here? That's right, Yoshi. Yoshi. Jusbox caught my attention in a good or a bad way. Are you ready for bashings, or are you thinking I might like some of these? I'm a little bit worried, to be honest with you. There is one that I'm excited about, and it's the grunge Nirvana one called, what's it called? Black Powder. this is probably the one that I'm most excited about, Black Powder. Everything else, I'm a little worried about, actually. Is this a good, does anyone have experience with this brand? Is this brand good or shite, or is it just kind of one of those YouTube brands, or is it one of those, like, we have a special trick because our fragrances smell like, you know, there's a link with music, or I think the cap is like a vinyl record, and I think the bottles are 78. From what I know about the brand, the bottles are 78 mils. For all you record connoisseurs, 78 RPMs is apparently what the old records would spin. So they made them 78 mils. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what the juice is actually like, but I'm a little worried. Outside of Black Powder, none of the other ones really catch my attention. Live and Loud just kind of sounds like a, I don't know, like maybe like a somewhat freshy watermelon-y thing. Micro Love, I think this is the one that is Micro Love, the one that is made up of a bunch of synthetics that what's his name really likes, Sebastian. Golden Serenade. I bet you that's going to be really sweet. Sirens and Sailors is the one that apparently is supposed to smell like Amy Winehouse, or is, inspired by her music. So that might be interesting, although I'm guessing that's going to be slightly feminine. And then we've got No Rules, so I guess the ones I'm most excited about are No Rules, which I think is a Julian Rascanet, and Black Powder. So, but we'll see. Six juice boxes in one video is a lot. I never seem to be online when Ram does these things. Well, it's a weekend, so I figured, what the hey? Oh, I'm relentless. I'm like, I'm listening to a podcast on Napoleon, and apparently the way that he used to attack was very similar to some military historian buffs will pick this up from, if you're like a fan of World War II history, Blitzkrieg, or the lightning warfare, or even some of the like Napoleon's biggest fan, or his biggest idol apparently was Julius Caesar. And so they used to sort of attack on like speed, and I feel like I'm kind of that way in the fragrance world, because I'm like so consistent. And I was looking at how many videos I did in the last year and a half, and we're almost to 600 videos. And I was looking at some folks who have had channels for like a decade, and they've got like 300 videos because they do like a video a month. And I just like slowly but surely try and plug one out every single day. Sometimes a video and a live stream. So they're going to all of a sudden blink, and I'm going to have more videos than some of the channels that have been around for 10 years. But I know video count doesn't matter, but I like putting out content. I try to be pretty steady with it. I hope you guys appreciate it. Up and down like a roller coaster. When your mind is wishy-washy, take the advice from Yoshi. Oh man, life sucks and then you die. Precisely indeed. I learned that from Roja. Oh, shizzle. Welcome, Andy. Welcome, brother. Andy in the house. Thanks, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. Let's see if anyone has some frag talk before we... The hell is a juice box? Exactly. Yes, that's exactly why these samples have been just sitting over there for a year, and I haven't even got... I'm going to knock them all out in one video and probably never talk about them again. They're going to go in the box of... they're going to go in the box of samples that once they get done, they go in the Dom box. And you can see the Dom box is pretty full. Once I knock some of these samples out, they go into the Dom box where I can either revisit them later, but they're out of sight. That's it. So the old, you know, Fragrance Du Bois samples we did recently, the old zoologist samples that we did a bunch of live streams on are in here. The old Rosias we've done some videos on, the old Rania J collection, all the old stuff that we knock out goes into the Dom box and off of the shelf. So I know that's it. We did it. The Darren Allen perfumes are in here. So I'm excited to get these damn juice boxes off of my shelf and into the Dom box. Sounds like a song. Get off of my shelf, get into my Dom box. That's it. Knock it out. So yes, I figured this would be a great time. Great time to knock these juice. Does anyone have any experience with this brand? What am I walking into? The City of Niche. Scent of the day, sample set of the new Ubigant Oriental collection by Antoine Lee and Luca Maffei. 0 out of 4 full bottle. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's usually how it goes, GMG. I'm wearing Signature Tabak. No clue what that is. Oh, I have opinions about Jusbox. Oh, God. Oh, I had a feeling it was going to be like that. Should we start with the ones that I actually think might be interesting? Let's do the Amy Winehouse one first. I mean, shit. Drugs and booze and rock and roll, right? Let's do the Amy Winehouse one first. What is this? This is Jusbox Siren and Sailors. Let's see if I can read a little blurb. Let's see if we can read the old press release like Persolaise. I wish I was as elegant speaking as Persolaise, man. I would have to go to elocution lessons for like 2 years to get on his level. So, here's the blurb. It says the perfumer as Julien Rasquinet. So that's a good start. I love his work usually. It's a musky floral fragrance. A tiny club in Camden Town. Amy Winehouse's sweet and husky voice enchants even the hardest souls, unveiling the fragility, the strength, and the contradictions of a woman and her neighborhood. So 78 mils is $195, which is not cheap. Siren and Sailors. Oh, and I should mention that also this house, this Jusbox house, apparently is headquartered in Milan, Italy. So they're an Italian house. Looks like they've got a pretty cool, I don't know, like little Italian like store. If you get a chance to make it out to Milan, the pictures look pretty cool. So it says Siren and Sailors' warm and sensual notes go straight to the heart, like a melody of a mermaid. Okay. Powerful and contrasting nuances resound like Amy Winehouse's husky voice among Camden Town canals. Rose Essential LMR, which I learned this LMR apparently is a house that specializes in natural essential notes. So basically, anytime you see, like, for example, molecular distillation patchouli oil LMR, that oil house did it in particular. So I think Jusbox uses a bunch of IFF perfumers. So you're going to see a lot of like Julien Rasquinet and Dominique Ropion and stuff like that. But I'm not really sure about their oils. But obviously, this LMR is supposed to be a higher end like operation. So let's see what this is all about. Yep, it's rosy, all right off of the bat. That is rosy. Let's let that dry while we continue reading, shall we? Because that is just rose. Rose Essential LMR and Osmanthus notes convey her most innocent and frivolous side, while the intense heart of Rum Absolute and Whiskey Accord evoke her strong vocality. Oh, is that what it is? And her tendency towards unruliness. The sensual vanilla and musk dry down lingers in our memory. Like the greatness of a woman who, showing herself as audacious and fragile at the same time, left a permanent mark on music history. An enchanting composition from master perfumer Julian Raspail that pays homage to a sublime voice, to a rebellious soul, and to the eccentric and contradictory spirit of the Camden Town neighborhood in London. So this is bergamot, peach, osmanthus, and now a little bit else is starting to come forward. We're starting to get some of the fruitiness. Outside of just that, the opening spray is heavy on that, I guess, rose essential LMR note with rum absolute and a whiskey accord, and then a bottom note of patchouli oil, molecular distillation LMR, vanilla, suede, and musk. So this is heavily traditionally feminine. I'll tell you that right out of the gate. If I ended up liking something like this, would I wear it? Sure. But I mean, this is, I would probably guess, I don't know, 70, 80% probably would be woman by woman. I mean, for the first one that I've put on skin, it's kind of, you know, I'm waiting to see if it does anything. But right now it's just kind of, What am I smelling? How would you guys know what I'm smelling? I guess I should tell you. It's not Julian Raspail's best work, I'll tell you that. I had a feeling this brand was going to be very designerish and niche presentations in bottles. And, you know, the whole juice box like thing, we tie our, you know, releases to music had me worried. And this doesn't, I don't know. I mean, there's so many, if you're a huge rose lover, maybe this might be something to consider, but I think there's just so many better roses out there. I was wearing this to bed the other day, just going off topic to talk about something that I do find interesting. I was wearing this to bed the other day, this Rose Nacre du Désert. This is a rose I would say I'd recommend trying to hunt down. If you're going to spend $200 for this, maybe spend like $300 or $400 and just get something like this. This is a hell of a rose fragrance. I really like that Songe du Bois d'Et, like, you know, spicy style with that, you know, oud accord that Guerlain did here. But that's a really good desert rose. I would actually wear this. This is a rose that I could see myself wearing. This is probably going to end up being a pass. But I did hear some people say that, for example, the guy that does Huele Mucho, I saw a video of him once talk about a juice box fragrance, and he said he hated the opening, and then an hour later he came back and he loved it. So I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but maybe this is going to show its hand more than it's doing right now. It's just kind of a fruity, musky rose. Even that, you know, peachy osmanthus note, which I usually love, is just kind of, it doesn't seem fully formed yet. Especially for Amy Winehouse. Like Amy Winehouse, I was expecting something to be really bold and daring and challenging. And I mean, her personality was like, you know, she really just showed everything, I guess, to the world of how she felt. She didn't really hold back. She was brash and abrasive, and I'm not getting any of that from this. I'm just getting sort of a nice, slightly sweetened, musky rose, kind of nondescript, actually. This is not really Amy Winehouse. This is sort of more of one of like Amy Winehouse's backup singers. You know what I mean? Like it's not really highlighting the star. Yeah, I don't know about that. Lapidus Porum, 2 days straight. Love the sweet funk and got a compliment, which is rare. Black Monday's on a roll. I love it. You're on that Hindu grass, huh? That's good stuff, Ajay. I have a sample somewhere. I told you. I'll do a video one day. I need to sit down when I have a quiet 5-year-old free time to really rewatch it. Yes, you realize how rare those free times are when you have a little one, right? Blend 30. You guys are rocking out. You guys are rocking out the big juice. The big juice today. This is a 250 miller. This is good stuff right here. This is one of those you never want to be without it fragrances. Good to see you, Dunk. Lonstant EDP woman. Beautiful, but Roussel maybe a Nosmic to Ambrosinide. Interesting. I think Rachel might have sent me a decant to that. I'll have to check that out, Gonzalo. Rachel, Juicebox names, micro names, use, abuse. Yeah, I don't understand. What's with this micro thing? Micro love? What is that? Antidote. Good stuff. That's awesome, Nicolo. I love Antidote. The antidote to the boring men's fragrance was the slogan of this. And it is fantastic. It's got so many facets. I'd much rather be wearing this than what I just sprayed on myself. Although I guess I could always go back to Koros Eau de Sport if I get bored. Thank you, Rachel. I think we pretty much made it through ourselves, didn't we? I think we pretty much made it through ourselves. Yo, you guys are looking forward to this. Are there like serious Juicebox fans out there? Because you know what else scared me is the only people that have full bottles were the ones like Sebastian, who's on the distribution list, I'm sure, unless he just buys all his bottles himself. Or, people like Demi Rawlings showed a full bottle. I don't think I know anyone in the community. Like, I don't actually know any friends in the community that have a full bottle of Juicebox. And they're like, oh man, I love this stuff. Like, the only people with full bottles are the ones like Persolays and, Sebastian that are on the distribution list. I don't actually know anyone that, at least that I can think of off the top of my head that has been like, I have this Juicebox fragrance and I love it, and that kind of worries me. My high school French paid off. Feather Supreme. Yeah, I don't understand those names, Yoshi. Evening, Pat. Terre d'Hermes, Eau Intense Vetiver. I've never smelled that. It's on my list. You're wearing the Indian Attar. What do you make of it? Do you absolutely love it? Was it an instant love for you, or were you like, what the F is this? I don't remember which one. The problem with these boxes is they don't have them listed, so you actually have to open it up and look unless you keep it in the. So you're wearing the Indian Oud one, which is one of my favorites. I told you my theory on that when I did the video, right? That some of Sultan Qaboos bin Said from Oman's personal collection made it in here. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true or not, but do let me know what you make of that, Rachel. Even if it's later, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Vintage bully. I'd rather be a vintage bully than a modern what? A modern beta? What's the modern one then? White bee y'all. Black powder. That's actually an okay name. Found them too synthetic, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Although I will say just right off the bat that I'm liking it a little bit more now. What is it? 15 minutes in than when I first sprayed it, but it's still very rose, synthetic rose dominant, that sweet jammy rose. Your French's. Happy Sunday. Welcome, Michael. Good to see you. I've heard this brand is just like Fragrance du Bois. That's what worries me. That's why I'm knocking it all out in one video, to be honest, because I didn't want to take the time to do an individual video on each one. Figure we just knock them all out and be done with it. Sometimes I have a sixth sense about these things, even though I've never smelled them. The bottle designs are chained to gimmick. Yeah. Yeah. With the record on top. Ah, Wheel pour Homme. You guys are rocking all the classics today. I love it. Phantom of the Opera for men. What is that, Manuel? I've never even heard of that. Ah, Hari's in the house. What's up, brother? I'm going to go get your package tomorrow from the post. Herzlich willkommen. Evening, Micah. Good to see you, man. We're in for a vintage and indie versus modern rant. Oh, well, I feel like I've done that every single time, though. Do I have to get on my soapbox already? The Dom box, excellent. You like the Dom box? Anyone personally? Did you get your Ukrainian bottle of perfume yet, Ajay? As long as it doesn't come back with like depleted uranium shells, you should be good to go. I knew you did that, but still actually reading that line is hilarious. Ukrainian eBay. Oh God. Oh yes, I've never smelled any of Zaharoff's scents except for the signature Taba or signature for men. M7 Fresh. What do you make of that, Micah? I've never smelled it, but I know Rich Mitch wasn't too big on it. Wearing Star Musk by Xerjoff, Ramsey's most favorite house, though he continues to deny it. Yes, that's right. I'm secretly in love with Xerjoff. Actually, that's why I can never open this particular side. It's all Xerjoff bottles. Thank you, Anuj. I love your new picture, by the way. I love your new thumbnail, if you will. How do you keep control of your fragrance collection if you have an extended one, or do you just grab one each time depending on your gut feeling? And how do you cultivate your collection? Well, I don't cultivate my collection. I've only sold like one bottle in my entire life, and it was that Palomo Picasso fragrance that I ended up accidentally buying the Luxury Products LLC, the L'Oreal version, when I really wanted the true vintage. So I sold that thinking I'll find a vintage one day, but I just keep everything. I don't sell anything. As far as how do I choose what to wear? Well, some of it's done based on the channel, actually, believe it or not. And so what I'll do is I'll wear something new I want to talk about on the channel. Like yesterday was Dryad, right? So yesterday I wore Dryad as my scent of the day. Once it was done, it went into the Dom box. So Dryad's in here with her other samples of Papillon that I already talked about on the channel, like Bengal Rouge and stuff like that. But and then today, since yesterday I wore something new, today I basically make it like an every other day thing normally, where I'll wear depends how I'm feeling too, but I'll wear something new and then I'll wear something that I want to wear, you know, whether that's, and usually what I'll do is it'll be a niche one time. So like a couple days ago, I wore Roja's Haut Luxe on Friday. And I wore a niche of what I wanted to wear one day. And so the after testing something new, when I go back to wearing what I want to wear, I go to vintage. So I basically go vintage niche, or designer niche, or vintage, you know, back and forth like that when I wear what I want to wear. And then sometimes I'll be testing stuff for the channel. So it's just sort of a mixture. And I keep track of my wears personally. So, you know, I'll try to, you know, mix in, like if I realize I haven't worn like an Amouage or a YSL recently, I'll try to mix something like that in. But I've pretty much gotten to the point now where I just pretty much wear whatever I want. I used to try to take into account season, and sometimes I'll still do that when I'm going to work, but sometimes not. I mean, I actually wore what was it? There was a day a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I wore Chinese oud to the office. This is like the most animalic one of the 8th collection, and I wore it to the office. you know, coworkers be damned. And so I'll pretty much just wear whatever I want whenever I want now. Yes, the natural division. That's right. Thank you, Gonzalo. Afternoon, scent of the day, 80s Mitsuko. Man, these 80s Mitsukos, I have to tell you, I think this is an 80s bottle of Mitsuko with the heart on the front, and this is the Parfum de Toilette from the 1980s. This stuff is literally one of the best fragrances I've ever smelled in my entire life. This Mitsuko, this particular one, this Parfum de Toilette, it's everything. It's got sort of the, you know, the sillage of the EDT or the EDP where it really jumps off your skin, but it has that thick richness of the X-Ray. I think this is maybe my favorite Mitsuko bottle. The X-Rays are amazing too. Where is it? Right there. There's an X-Ray bottle, but man, that Parfum de Toilette is perfect for me. Brother Anuj, I recently got 14-Hour Dream and shed 14,000 tears. It sucks. Oh, shit. That's the one that Sebastian put #1 on his top 10. He just did a top 10 Juicebox countdown a month ago. He put 14-Hour Dream as #1. Which that's an Antoine Lee creation. That's actually the one I wanted to try the most, but it's not in my samples. Because it's just because it's an Antoine Lee. So yeah, why'd you buy it? Did you blind buy it, Daver? Sir Alan Hansen. All right, I'm gonna spray one more while we're kicking the shit here because I have a feeling how this is gonna go. Let's do this no rules one. Actually, no. Let's do the black powder one. That's the one I'm most looking forward to. Let's do this black powder, which is based on grunge and Nirvana. So I guess I should make a note of where these are going. So Sirens and Sailors is left wrist, black powder. Tell you what, though, this Sirens and Sailor projects like a mother. I could smell it with my hand all the way over here. All right, black powder. Here we go. Please, God, be good. This is the one I'm counting on to be good. Oh, no. It's not spraying? Ah, here we go. All right, black powder. It's leaking all over. Crap. Crapola. All right, black powder. I hate these little samples. Okay, I like that from the very first spray. First thing that popped in my head. Very first thing that popped in my head is there is a sample that one of my perfume god people who wants to remain anonymous sent me that I've been waiting to do a video on. I haven't done it yet. It's called Sturkis by Orto Parisi. Very first thing that popped in my head when I smelled this is it's like slightly oily it's almost like, you know how I said that Iorfante fragrance from Parfums Cortana has this clean jet fuel, like burning vibe. The leather in here has a slight, you know, burnt quality to it, ashy quality, burnt ashiness to it. There's a cleanliness to the burning fuel, and there's also this sort of ashiness to it. And but the overall blend kind of reminds me a little bit of the way Orto Parisi's Sturkis is blended, but I actually like Sturkis more because it's more animalic. This is more challenging. I like what the guy that runs Orto Parisi and Nasomato, I forget his name. I like what he what he did with Sturkis a little bit more right off of the first spray. But this is good. This is good. I see why this is the one that sort of gets maybe, I think this is their best seller, they said too. So it's pimento, apple, and blackcurrant. So hard to do a good apple note, but this is pretty good with suede and tobacco leaf, frankincense and sandalwood, tonka bean and patchouli. Yeah, this feels like a really modern leather. I like this. I wouldn't run out and buy a bottle because I'm thinking about running out and buying a bottle of Sturkis actually instead. And I think this would fall into the same category, but this is good. This black powder, this is good. I would say if you have a taste in leathers like I do, you can definitely go try this. And I can see sort of the grungy aspect to it. There is this sort of, you know, old ashtray, maybe, you know, that flannel that Kurt Cobain used to wear all the time, and it felt like he had probably been wearing that thing for like 3 weeks straight, and you could almost see like the stains on it where his hair would fall too, because he felt like he never washed his hair, you know. That was like the vibe that it gave off. I'm sure he was I'm sure that was like a carefully chosen look, but that grunge look that was so popular in the 90s, there was this dirtiness to it, you know, like ripped jeans, like I don't give a shit attitude. I'm going to sleep on the couch, wake up, drink the rest of my warm beer and get back to playing my guitar, right? There's that feeling to this. There's this, yeah, there's this, it's good. It's a good leather fragrance. It's not as dirty as it should be. And that's the one thing that I was worrying about with this brand, is that it was going to be very designer-esque, and it is. It definitely is. I think if you want this style, go with Sturkis. That's probably what I'm going to do. I might get a bottle of this one day because I really, really like Sturkis. And it does everything that this does without that generic tonka bean like sweetness underneath. You can feel it. Yeah, this the Sirens and Sailors is turning into this like candied rose right now, like a musky candied rose. And even though I said it has that black powder has this grungy, dirty aspect to it, there is this generic designer sort of sweetness coming up underneath. So yeah, it's kind of exactly what I expected. I think that the smelling will be a mess. Yeah, I think it's going to be exactly what you think. Rascanet is pretty hit or miss. He's been dropping more stuff than Christian Carbonell lately. Yeah, I know what you mean, GMG. Although when he hits, I really like some of the stuff he's done. I recently got a bottle of the vintage version of Russian Tea by Mask Milano, and this is really good. This is a good tea. I don't think it's as good as 5 o'clock Au Gingembre, but this is a really good take on a tea, sort of slightly smoky. I think there's a raspberry note in here, and you know, it's not like a photorealistic tea scent, but you know, he made a lot of Middle Eastern style perfumes, did Rascanet, and you can sense that frankincense smokiness there. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Julian Rascanet. Let's see what Jusbox has to say about black powder. So Jusbox says that this is, again, Julian Rascanet. The scene is Poly Pavilion, Los Angeles, 1992. Nirvana's leader, Kurt Cobain, shocks the MTV Music Awards by playing a few unplanned chords. This will mark this generation's rebellion towards an establishment which censored its freedom of expression. $195 for 78 mils. The black powder fragrance is an unexpected olfactory melody made of interrupted sounds, full of volume and contrasting notes, powerful like a bullet hitting the prissy and homogenized side of a society which is unable to understand Nirvana's social poetry. It's a bold and daring sound, born from guitars playing in Seattle's garages. On a leather accord, Julian Rasconnay scripts loud blackcurrant notes and rebellious pimento notes. In his unique and powerful style, crispy apple hints convey the romantic and bohemian side of Kurt Cobain's soul, exploding into an intense, deep, mysterious, and sensual fragrance. Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. I mean, in order for this to be a full bottle for me, it would have to be much more animalic, and the leather hat would have to be, I think, a little bit harsher portrayed. This is still just a little too designer for where I'm at right now, but I do like it. I can't say I don't like it. I don't like Sirens and Sailors, but Black Powder I like. Many mez and mms. Yep, exactly. I don't have a Persola's tell. Like, he has the forehead. I don't think you guys can really know what I'm thinking beforehand. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of mez in here. It is very good. Yeah, Ajay. Ottoman Empire is very good indeed. Sigs and Wiggy. Anuj. Dunk. Turkish Rose. Under the black leather jacket. Boz. Hello, hello. Let's see. Where are we? Demi trolling. I can't help myself. Is Juicebox in the same realm as Imaginary Authors? I would probably put Imaginary Authors one step ahead of Juicebox from what I've smelled so far. There actually is an imaginary. There's a couple Imaginary Authors that I don't mind. I have full bottles of. I have full bottles of Cape Heartache and also Memoirs of a Trespasser. And we're going to do one of these live streams on an Imaginary Authors stream one day, because I have an entire thing of samples. We'll probably have to actually break it up into two. I've got a whole thing of Imaginary Authors samples just waiting to go. So there's probably, gosh, I don't know. This will probably have to be two streams. So we can do two Imaginary Author streams, kind of like what we did with Zoologist, where we broke it up into multiple streams. We'll probably have to do the same thing for the Imaginary Author set. But they're ready to rock and roll. And there's a bunch of them in here. Slow Explosion, The Cobra and the Canary, Yesterday Haze, City on Fire, Oh Unknown, Telegram, Saint Julep, Sundrunk, Slow Explosions. Yeah, so yeah, that'll be a fun one. I think Imaginary Authors is probably a little bit above Juicebox to me, because of the Imaginary Author perfumer, the owner and the perfumer, Josh. Is it Allen? What's his name? Josh. His name is Josh Meyer. Josh Meyer is, I think, still sort of like a canary in the coal mine for the fragrance world. I think a lot of people do still pay attention to what he does, and he prices his stuff still relatively, for a niche house. He does price his stuff relatively affordable. He didn't take the Roja route. He didn't put bedazzled diamonds on his cap and charge 5 times the price. So I respect him a little more. Juicebox seems to just be sort of an idea. Like, they came up with this music idea and they just outsourced it to IFF perfumers. He made HDP Outracidant. It's a pineapple patchouli concoction. Can you guess what it smells like? Hint, not Aventus. So the protege of the great Pierre Bourdon made a pineapple patchouli concoction. Interesting. I've never smelled that one, GMG. Hey, Mike V, we've missed your quick quips and your funnies. Bring it on. I'm sure you got your funny book there. You've just been waiting to use. It's been a while. Happy Sunday. Good to see you, Michael John. Modern formulation of Polo Green, as I can reapply every 3 hours on a Sunday and appreciate the vintage. Oh, that's good stuff. Tramen Fanfare. Never smelled it. Oh, and I have to say, shout out, since the news is in the house, I do have to say, my scent of the day was brought to you by Enchante. That rhymes. My scent of the day was brought to you by Enchante. He actually sent me this for free, but this is not sponsored. I will not say good things about you just because you sent me something, Anuj. No, but seriously, thank you, mate. That was very, very kind of you. I told him, I was like, hey, man. Actually, it was a, what was it? It was like a blind sniffing I was doing, and Armando set it up where he sent me these samples blind, and I was smelling them. And one of them, I was like, dude, did you just like put Koros in here? Like, what is this? And it ended up being Koros Eau de Sport. And I was like, man, I'd love a bottle of that, but they're hard to find. And Anuj, credit to him, he was like, dude, I got like a partial. You can just have it. It'll be perfect for you. And he sent me that. So very kind of him. Anuj is the man with the master plan. Yeah, I'd probably put imaginary authors one step ahead. Thamine. Thamine. Gotcha. Yeah, I was like, Tramine. I've never heard of that. How is it? Is that a house worth digging into? I've never smelled any of their work, but I know my boy Christopher Chong is there now. Better vintage bully than a modern folly. Centrifugal Force has quite a few Jusbox bottles he purchased and enjoys. I have no clue who that is. No offense to him. I just don't know who he is. Yoshi. Guerlain Abbey Rouge EDP. I prefer the EDT, but the EDP is also quite nice. All the samples of Jusbox genuinely like and respect the guys behind the brand, but wish they took more risks. Yes, that is a perfect way to say it, Rachel. Thank you. You're exactly spot on. 100% spot on. Like, I mean, especially they're using figures like Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain. Like, these should be super challenging, or at least they should be larger than life fragrances, and these sort of aren't. The Amy Winehouse one in particular is very particularly forgettable. That's really a letdown just because of her personality. The Kurt Cobain one is good, but it should have been more. I agree with you. Yeah, they should have took more risks. 100%. Well said. Rock and roll isn't polite. These frags are super polite and commercial. Again, exactly spot on. I'll just turn the mic over to you now, Rachel, and I'll just hang out back here in the background. Rachel is wearing the History of Indian Attar. Yes, me too. I think that is one of the best from the collection. Absolutely. Yeah, the History of Indian Oud. What do you make of it, Rachel? It's fabulous. Good to know. I'm glad you love it, because that's your real first taste of true skanky barnyard fermented Indian oud, right? I'm glad you love it. That makes me happy. Seriously. I had a feeling you would. Now, the problem is there are some people that say once you smell this, you start to lose interest in all of your other collection there, that you will only want to wear stuff like this, because the challenging on this, versus the challenging that we're talking about on these, this is two different worlds. So once you start to smell stuff like this, some people say it's hard to go back. You may have opened up a new rabbit hole. Phantom of the Opera smells like microban disinfectant. Uranium eBay. Indiski Sandal Razvat. That's what's incoming from Ukraine. Please do let me know how that is, Ajay. Seriously, because I know Russian Adam said that's his favorite sandalwood fragrance. So I would love to know what you make of that, my friend. Eau Sauvage Parfum, Stealth 1 spray undershirt as I had to work. Yes, that's very courteous of you, Rachel. I think Rachel meant history of Indian oud. Yes, she did. I got my fill of the drama. Now I'm on detox. Ramsey is a true hoarder. That's right. Never sell. Like Mark actually, you know, Mark from the Robes 08 channel said he's never sold a bottle ever. Don't disappear on me like that. Mancera said, Boise to Ramsey, please, boss, sell me. I don't want to stink among these masterpieces. I'm going to review it. I'm going to review it and then sell it. It's somewhere around here. I think I hit it because it was too far. It was too far to the front. You know, I couldn't have it like in sight, so I put it in the back. Caught you early, Rammer. Ah, Mr. Inglewood, what's happening, brother? I love that, Rachel, so much that I got a second one. I am the owner of 44 mils of Indian oud now. Ah, that's awesome. You can, when you have a little bit more second bottle, you feel like you can really wear it, you know, like you don't have to worry about the juice disappearing. It is so beautiful. Agreed. That may not be the word some people use for it because it has that skank, but once you fall in love with that smell, yes, it is. And you can pick out all of these little nuances. Isn't it crazy how the history of Indian oud has this so many like things, like you feel like you can smell all of these different notes, even though it's just oud. That's what's so nuts about it. You know, you can smell fruits and flowers and earthiness and green touches, and there's just it has everything just like a real perfume. I was trying to thank you for recommending Portrayal Man. I didn't realize that you just finished interviewing Russian Adam. Oh man, it's no problem. Yeah, I mean, we talk about pretty much anything, but yeah, Portrayal Man is awesome. It really is one of the underrated amouages, and you can see the dent that I've put in this bottle since I've and with my collection, that is a hell of a dent for a fragrance that came out in 2019 or something. I love this stuff. If you like Fahrenheit, you have to try Portrayal Man. Did you get the vintage one with the name on the side, or did you get the newer one with the name on the front, Mr. Inglewood? If you got the one with name on the front and it's still good, that's awesome. That makes me happy. Just not safe for work. I will send you out a sample. Yes, blind drunk buy. Oh, God. Oh, those blind drunk buys get you every time. Don't ever watch fragrance content when you're drunk. That is a no-no. You'll end up being a fecal ouds collector in no time. That Mitsuko you just showed is a late 70s bottle. Is that true? I had no idea. This is a late 70s one with the heart. Oh, I love it. It's so unbelievable. I thought they started doing this parfum de toilette thing in the 80s, Anuj. I was mistaken. This is also a great Mitsuko. If you can find this bottle of the X-Ray right here, this stuff is unbelievable. I'm gonna review these one day. They deserve their own reviews because it's probably, you know, two of the best bottles of fragrances in my collection as far as like compositions go. That stuff is out of this world. It was Givenchy Encense. Nice. Alessandro Galtieri. Thank you, Dushan. Yes. The guy that did the Orto Parisis. Yes. Okay. So we're an hour in. I've sprayed 2, and I really think black powder is a good fragrance, but I just think if I was going to go down that style of fragrance, I would just buy Sturkis, honestly. Sturkis does what that does, but like Rachel said, it takes more chances, it takes more risks, and that's more interesting to someone like me now. All right, let's do Live and Loud. I think this is the one that the Huela Mamucho guy said that he hated for the first hour, and then it ended up dawning on him exactly what this was, and he liked it. So this will be Left Arm, Live and Loud. All right, live and loud, or is it live and loud, or live and loud, or let's see. Let's see. The Persola's eyebrows. Well, I don't hate it like I was expecting to from listening to the Huela Mamucho guy, because he was like, man, I hated this in the first hour. That figgy coconut watery thing is pretty prevalent with the watermelon and the spices. God, I hate to say it's meh, but it kind of is dry. So it's bergamot, watermelon, cardamom, coconut water, fig leaves, pine needles, vetiver, dry amber, and musks. And what is Livin' Loud supposed to be? It is supposed to be a... So this is a Dominique Ropillon. And it's an Oudi Amber. An Oudi Amber. Man, I would not have thought oud unless they actually used the word oud right. I would have never guessed there was oud in this, at least not yet. Maybe in the base or something, but it says it is pure power, a whirl of notes which blend together, giving life to an unstoppable wave. It is a rapid rhythm you can't resist, an uncontrollable vibration that shakes body and soul, volume pumping up to the point of saturation. It is energy running through our veins, adrenaline. Music and perfume both have the power to touch and move our spirit. Through strength and intensity, they are able to inject us with energy and make us feel more alive than ever. Live and Loud is a scented playlist that boosts the mind. At first, the fragrance plays on hip hop and disco rhythms. I guess, how do you smell hip hop and disco, which are vibrated by energetic and spicy notes of bergamot and cardamom, and a chord of geranium and rose evokes the sensuality of Latino music. They're just going to check every type of music now. Cinnamon with its spicy facets, exuding rock sound. Well, shit, there you go. Let's see. They've hit hip hop, disco, Latino, and rock sound. What's next? The dry down is an explosion of grit. Natural oud as powerful as screaming heavy metal. There you go. Breaks on a strong and transgressive punk backbeat of myrrh, patchouli, and cistus. Sandalwood and musk envelops master perfumer Dominique Ropillon's composition in a whirl of powerful energy. I feel like we need Jeremy Fragrance on here for this one, so you can go power, unlimited power. I don't know. This is I mean, the oud thing kind of threw me off because I would not have thought there was any oud in here. Just maybe some amber woods or something in the base, giving it that power. But yeah. I mean, Dominique Ropillon, I don't think he can really make a bad fragrance. So, but for $200, I just feel like you could do better. Nasomato. Ah, the Tripler. Howdy, howdy. Oddly, Sturkis gets a lot of compliments. Ah, they like the funk, huh? If I'm a Joker, you're a penguin. It's the Triceratops. Careful, he'll hit you with the tripler horn. I didn't mean that. You know I love you, Boz. Don't toy with my emotions. I'm the genius. Hello, Rich. If you want to hate fragrances, go spray and test everything in your box of things to sell. Almost choked myself out to death yesterday. Luckily, I don't have a box to sell, but I know what you mean. I do have a bunch of fragrances that I have not heard you mention or talk about Xerjoff. Well, you must not have been paying very close attention, Mr. Al-Kuwari, because I actually have multiple Xerjoff live streams up on the channel under my live streams. You should go check them out. But the reason why you don't hear me talk about them is because I hate Xerjoff. I think they're shite. Aberrations or abbreviations? Oh, he's talked about some jerk-offs. I have. They suck. Allegedly. That sounds like a bunch of BS. They just threw every single bunch of music groups they could in there. It's not very good, actually. I don't think this is Dominique Ropion's finest hour, I'll tell you that. Has a little bit of a chemical smell. Imagine like a chemical fruit, like one of those uranium. What do we say? The depleted uranium bullets, uranium eBay. Imagine like a uranium fruit, and that's pretty much what this smells like. It's I mean, it is intense. I'll say that. They use the word intense and energy and power a lot, so it is that. Demi's middle name is Layering Fragrances. Really? Ministry of Scents, wasn't aware of them. They got some interesting brands. Ministry of Scents, is that the one that I did the video on, the 555 Perfumery or whatever it was? Demi Frag Layering. I mind imaginary authors a lot. Demi is sweet, but I wish she wouldn't do that. Imaginary Fragrances, they support Antifa, so I don't mess with them. No, this is an Antifa-free channel. Forget Demi. Josh Meyer, that's it. Xenia, Indonesian. Ooh, never smelled it. Stop watching Demi after she said don't buy from discount frag sites. I've never actually watched one of her videos, but I do love in how every video, you know, she's got the crop top on. Maybe she's like slightly bent over. Or, it's funny. She could put out a fragrance video and literally, I don't think, say one thing that makes any sense about fragrances, and she'd get like 500,000 views just because of the thumbnail and the way she looks. It's unbelievable. Still waiting on my discount code from Manouge. I have full bottles of Sturkis. Potent juice crushes almost everything else I have. More linear than others I have from Gaultieri. I really like it though. I really like it. If you like Sturkis, you could try this black powder, but I think Sturkis is actually better. Just grabbed a Celine fragrance today. You did. Did you do a drunk buy like Daver? Or were you completely sober when you did that, unbiased? They means new fragrance fanfare developed by Christopher Chong as artistic director is 100% worth checking out. I purchased a full bottle right away. Damn. Yeah. I need to test the whole line. Juxtaposed Jusbox. What's Cobain got to do with it? That outrissudent smells like Lapidus Pour Homme. I was like, what the fuck? They really ransacked every single 80s powerhouse now. Crazy. You mean the Indian Oud? Yes, I'm glad you like it. That is the crown in your Oud collection now, Rachel. And scare away. Oh, that's awesome. You should go in with like 12 sprays of Koros on one day. That is great, though. I love it. Chinese Oud was awesome, but so damn challenging. I love this stuff, honestly. I wore it to work. I try and wear frags that could be mistaken for essential oils. Yeah, that makes sense. To work, I get that. I blind drunk bought Abbey Rouge, was supposed to order Heritage. Worst mistake ever. Not if it was the EDT. That's one of the best masculines of all time. Anyone bought from Intense Oud? They got an Ajmal I want. Never heard of them. Sorry for the off-topic question. After all those crazy ouds you tried in the last couple of months, where would you rank Bortnikov Oud Maximus now? I really dig it. I still really like Oud Maximus, but I honestly think that I would take Oud Zen over it, the original Oud Zen, Z-E-N, but it's impossible to find. And I honestly think I would take this Indian Oud ahead of it now. Even it is, it's so crazy just what real Oud does, you know. But I still love Oud Maximus. It's one of my favorite Ouds of all time. But I don't think I would put it as number one anymore. Hogwash. Right. Jazz gets no love. Which jazz? Oh yeah, jazz. No, not the jazz that I love. I thought you were talking about this jazz. I was like, what are you talking about? I love the shit out of this, Germs. I talk about this all the time. Yeah, no, they overlooked jazz. How dare they? Let's be outraged. If you're outraged and you're loud and you scream, it means you're right, apparently, in new modern culture. I like Andrea because of her Latino design. Dominique Ropion made a lot of stinkers. Fair. Yeah, I think this might be one of them. Yeah, Miss Curly Sense. Ah, look who it is. It's Money. Mr. Burner. You camera. Focus. Greetings. Ropion is my favorite. He made Maxims and Casual Friday. That he did. I still don't understand why you love Casual Friday as much as you do. It's good, Duncan, but it's not that good. It's not talk about it on your favorite, your 10 favorite fragrances of all time good, but it is good. I'd take Maxims over Casual Friday. Zaharoff Signature. I did a video on that a couple weeks back. Dobro Sambaz. Signature what? They are all called Signature. Just Signature? Signature Porom. He also made Issey Miyake Noir Argent. Never smelled it. I'm guessing it's shite. The OG. Money is Dead. Yo. Is he the one who made Portrait of a Lady? Yes. Yes, he is. Money Lives. Ropion did Chopard Oud Malachi. It's quite good. Not real oud, though. Never smelled it. Money Never Sleeps. Ministry of Sense is a great shop. Yes, they carry 555. Yes, that's right. I think you sent me a sample from them of 555. Trying to watch it work. Inconsiderate citizens keep calling 911 and making me work. The effing nerve, those bastards. Those bastards. If cops isn't following you around, you can just sort of like cover up your... Didn't you say you were a police officer? You can just like cover up your camera and just, kick them in the groin and run. I've been to Ministry. Very nice folks. It's a Macedonian word. Have you tried Xenia? I've never smelled a Xenia, mate, believe it or not. Tell them about Ajmi. All right, I'm trying to get past these Havla. I don't speak what is that? Is that Yiddish? Hey, what Ajme? Oh, what it means. Rather not. It's complicated. Just backed up a Escada Porom. Ram, is there any other boozy vintages worth hunting? Ooh. Boozy vintage. See, the thing about boozy there's not very many boozy vintage scents, to be honest with you. The boozy thing is a relatively newer phenomenon. Let me think. If you would count vodka as a booze, you could go for these two. You could go for Halston Catalyst. This has a vodka note in it. And you could go for Ungaro Porlome 3. Both of these have a vodka note in it, believe it or not. I think this is actually a little bit better than the Ungaro, but this is good. This made my Francois Demachy video today. Quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Black Monday, Xenia Passion, The Jam. Hey, look at that. I said it. Duncan probably typed that before I even said it. Great minds, Dunk. Great minds, brother. Do you prepare for these live streams? Is this scripted? I mean, this is all riveting stuff. I do not prepare for them, but I'll take your sarcasm. Well noted, Money. It's so funny. The vintage Idole de Luban. Ah, that's a good one, Paroli. Yes, yes, thank you. That's a good shout. Idole de Luban. Yes. If you can get the EDT, I would go for this one. If you can find it. It's really hard to find. Luckily, Anuj sorted me out with a mostly full bottle and a sealed backup. Oh, yeah. Good shout, Paroli. Very, very good stuff. See, that's why I keep you guys around when I have a brain fart. Ramsey looks like a Serb in those Adidas pants. Is that being mean to Serbs or nice to me? I don't understand. All right, hang on. Let me spray the next one here. I'm on detox. I've been poisoned by Dan. I won't say anything to that. Micro Love. We're on to Micro Love, which I think is a terrible name for a perfume. Micro Love. Oh shit, the top. Did you guys just see that? The top literally just popped off of this thing, like flew off like it was under pressure. Holy crap. I hate these samples. I despise these things. Let me see if I can find the top. Well, it's not looking promising, boys and girls. Aha. Victory. Oh. All right, let's put the top back on. Let's see if we can put the top back on. All right, let's try this again, shall we? Micro Love. Oh, that is fresh. That is like I mean, this is like, I don't know, what is this like? This is like Aqua de Jo or like a 90s fresh aquatic thing. Lots of freshness though. Like imagine a 90s aquatic like Aqua de Jo, but done with a ton of modern like synthetics. Ozonic like synthetics in the opening. Fluffy ozonics. I don't this is not my thing at all. This is probably for somebody who this is probably for someone that likes the whole they like to smell modern, but they don't like to smell like they're wearing like a fragrance. They just like smelling like that shampoo smell, you know, like that clean soap smell. Yeah, this is definitely not for me. This is a no-no. Micro Love. Holy moly. Let's see what they have to say about it. On a call, lady said, "What the hell is that smell?" I helped her search her house looking for the source, knowing full well it was my Bortnikov classic. Oh shit, that is fantastic, dude. That is the funniest thing I've ever read. Oh man. Dude, I do not speak what you guys are saying. Can I put you guys in a side chat somehow? Fresh shave or some Adidas 85 cologne? I'll take the Adidas 85 cologne. Fluffy Ozonics, a tribute 80s band. Hey, is that actually a band? Yeah, Fluffy Ozonics is the way to go. Let's see what they have to say about this, shall we? Micro Love. Oh God, what a name. Okay, Juicebox Micro Love, $195 for 78 mil, 22% concentration. Dominique Ropion, an ozonic woody. At least it's not a micro woody. What do you want? This writing appears in block capitals on the enormous video walls of Zoo TV Tour stage, opening the way to a new dimension where time and space are pure energy. Everything is possible now. The world is connected. Microlove is an electric aerial diffusive scent. Yeah, it's diffusive. That evokes the vision of a postmodern stage with spires resembling radio aerials. It is with the explosive skyline that the Irish band U2, during its Zoo TV tour, opens the curtains on the future, one of the most groundbreaking music events in rock history, which marks a radical change in form and discloses a message on the persuasive nature of technology that is able to elicit emotions through binary codes and microchips. Master perfumer Dominique Ropion celebrates this emotional connection through an accord where pure shades of white cedar wood and ambergris are animated by the emotional surge of crispy apple, ozonic accord, and suede. I don't get much suede, but definitely this futuristic, aerial, diffusive, ozonic, cloudy, micro accord through the aesthetic canons of high perfumes performs a pure, modern, and contemporary scent. I hate it. I despise it. At least the Amy Winehouse smells like a sweet candied rose. This just smells like, if this is what the future smells like, I want out. Put me on a train to the past. Put me on a train to the past. I wore my sample of Beauty and the Beast one night, and a little person asked what smells like the circus. I about bit off my tongue trying not to comment on the irony. Oh, that's great. Penhaligon Sartorial. That's a good one, Travis. I'm going to review that soon. I've got a pretty good size decant I need to get through. A lesson of Serbian language. Doesn't he speak Serbian? Wasn't he writing you back? I've had the sample set for a couple years, and I was resampling black powder along with you, and the top of my sprayer shot off as well. See? Money was asking, is this planned? This shit is not planned, Money. This is unedited. I'm sure it's riveting. Starting to wonder if these heavy hitters just phoned it in for these releases. Yeah. Or maybe this is what they were asked to do. That's the thing. A lot of times I feel like they'll just do what the briefs tell them to do. And this really has this, this micro love is not good at all. I guess if you've ever had like a microfiber towel and it has that sort of, there's definitely this cotton, this sort of airy cottony feel with micro love. I do not like that. That is, I mean, that might be okay for someone who, you know, if your kind of fragrances are like Dior Sauvage or Ambroxan heavy or blue fragrances, or, you know, very modern, you know, if you like Quinton Biche's work with Akigala wood, like that very modern take, you might really like this micro love. But my guess is it didn't take off very well. Maybe they need to macerate it in a microwave. Yes, that's right. Balkan Rhapsody. He is really good with our language. You know Romtin, the reviewer. Do I know Romtin? No, can't say I do. No offense if I should know him, but I don't. Bois Mysterio. Also, hello. Hey, Andre. What's going on, man? Bois Mystério's good stuff. Oh, is he the one that has like the vampire look? I think I know who you're talking about. I never watch his videos, but I think I know of him. Yes. 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 I've seen him. Looks like a fancy Rasputin. Yes. Yes, he does. The vampire Rasputin. That's hilarious. All right, let's spray these last two. I think this brand's a no-no. I think this brand is a no-no. All right, we've got two left. We have No Rules, and we have Golden Serenade. I'm guessing No Rules will be my favorite, so let's save that for the end. Golden Serenade is going to be left elbow. This year's Amouage 40th anniversary, Juby 40. Yes. Yes, it is. You are exactly correct. I discovered a house I like very much thanks to him. Panadora. Never heard of it. All right, let's try this Golden Serenade, shall we? Is this going to be like the Golden Oldies? Yep. This is exactly what I was expecting. This is big, ambery, Middle Eastern style, like amber extreme oud-like smell, and saffron. So it has that saffron, amber extreme oud. This is one of those things that you will have felt like you've smelled a million times before. It has that very common designer, maybe like a Xerjoff oud or something like that. Yeah, this could easily be like a Xerjoff oud fragrance. Jusbox Golden Serenade. Let's see. A perfect. Here we go. Wow. This one's $330 for 78 mil. Holy shit, they got proud. Julian Rasquinet again. It's an amber oud. I mean, the thing is, I like this style of perfume, so I do like this, but there's no way I would ever spend that on this. This is like, I see this as like a $50 fragrance. Chattanooga Choo Choo, back in time to 1942, over 1 million gramophones play the B-side of a record which will become the soundtrack of Dreams and Hopes. The Glenn Miller Orchestra's new swing interprets the euphoria and ardor of a soldier who is returning to his love on a train. Back from the front, this soaring melody, the warmth of the arrangement, and the syncopated rhythm recall the trepidation for a long-awaited date. This recording becomes an outstanding success that will lead to the birth of a new award, recognizing huge popularity, the dream for all recording artists, the gold record. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? The fragrance, sweet suspended dream, interpreted only by the sounds of a train, which is finally bringing us back home to our true love. Desire melts with the warmth of swing, giving life to The Most Romantic Jazz Serenade, Chattanooga Choo Choo for Golden Serenade, master perfumer Julian Rasconet composed an intense and precious melody, paying homage to this love song, a perfect blend of spicy notes of saffron and clove bud, played with the intense hints of incense, are surrounded by a warm, enveloping atmosphere conferred by patchouli heart LMR, animalic nuances of oud oil LMR, and the balsamic heat of a Papanax amplified by amber extreme meets the sweetness of vanilla, and extrait de parfum as powerful as the permanent mark left by a love dream. Wow. It looks like brands like this just buy some leftover formulas by famous perfumers. They can get a bit of credibility. That you might be onto something there, GMG. You usually are. And that is, I mean, you might be spot on. That's a great assumption indeed. These blurbs are maddening. Aren't they ridiculous? Like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Like, if you're not thinking to your head while you're reading that, what the fuck are they talking about? You should probably question your sanity. The thing is, this is a good fragrance. I like this. And I even said that about some of the Xerjoff ouds that I tried. Or, you know, something like Memo's Russian Leather. Like, okay, it's nice. I would, you know, it's not the worst thing out there, right? I enjoy it. But would I buy this? Absolutely not. The value for money ratio on something like this is through the floor. Forget through the roof. It's through the floor. This is, there's a million brands doing stuff like this now. There's just nothing. And the fact they doubled the price almost. So yeah, that's, I mean, it's even at $195, this would be a big no-no for me. This would have to be like a $50 fragrance. I would buy this for $50. If anyone has a bottle of this to sell me for $50, I would buy it. Other than that, I think I'd probably take that money and put it towards this Sturkis that I've been talking about. I think that's more my speed. So yeah, the oud here smells, you know, I know it's the LMR oud, so it's the more natural side of IFF, but it smells like many of the oud notes you would smell in, you know, pick your niche brand. Memo, Xerjoff, maybe even an Amouage oud, since they don't use real oud, but most of Amouage fragrances are much more creative than this historically. You know, Roja oud, that kind of thing. That's the feeling of the oud in here. And while I like the intensity of sort of the saffron and the patchouli and the oud and the Apopanax and all that stuff, it's when did this come out? This came out in when did this come out? It came out in, so all right, let's just go to Parfumo. Golden Serenade, 2018. 2018. Slightly animalic too. Slightly animalic, but nothing too challenging. Everything about this brand is sort of, I think, geared towards the designer. It's a designer house in like niche packaging. I've never heard of Katana. Nope, never heard of Katana. Although I did hear about a brand that somebody sent to me that I almost fell out of my chair laughing when I read the brief. Have you guys heard about this? It is a brand called Amafi. Have you guys heard of Amafi? Amaffi. So apparently, Matt actually sent this to me. He sent me sort of the little blurb from Amafi, and he says, and we thought Roja was outrageous. Check this out. I was like, I've never heard of it. What is it? So he says the story from the house is that This house was from a perfumer who was Napoleon's personal perfumer, and a small cylinder bottles. And the small cylinder bottles is what he'd take with him into battle. Of course, minus the crystals. And they're selling that now as a niche brand. Get the fuck out of here. Get the F out of here. Like, how... I mean, it almost makes my head hurt. Amafi. I have no clue how much they cost. Let's see. Amafi fragrances. All right, let's see. For men. There's crystals on the top, so I'm guessing these are going to be expensive. Holy shit. $7,100. They are taking the piss. They are straight up 100% taking the piss. 100 mils of power for men. Again, we need Jeremy on here. Power. 100 mils is $7,100. For just to show you how high priced the juice is, because they can't spare any, because they spend every dollar on the juice. For your pleasure and convenience of always having your favorite fragrance with you, Amafi offers a 50 ml companion bottle of the same scent for free. Well, shit, spend $7,100. I'll give you 50 mils for free too. Fuck. That is absolutely outrageous. The ones with the crazy bottles, yes. That'll be the day. They don't need me, dude. They've got Demi Rawling. Hell, I'll probably drive people away instead of actually bring them to buy. Every cringe niche brand was Napoleon's personal perfumer. Oh shit. Creed were king scented glove providers. Yep, that's right. I checked him, Offie. I think just the bottle is $6K. What that bottle is absolutely stupid. Can you just give me can you just decant that into a juice and maybe they just sell the juice for $1,000? What the fuck? That is absolutely outrageous. The fragrance is based on a contrast of the royal rose. Yes. And leather notes, giving it a special aristocratic chic. Indeed. Mortimer, go get my Jaguar. Pull the Bentley around, Mortimer. We're going to get some heart notes from Gross. Fleecing the rich. That's exactly it, man. That is easy come, easy go money right there. They're like, oh, you spent $500 on a Creed? Well, I spent $3,000 on a Roja. And this brand's like, oh, you spent $3,000 on a Roja. How about $7,000 on an Amafi? Yeah, that's insane. That's just dumb. When I read that the other day, I was like, you have to be kidding me. How do I? First of all, I've never even heard of it. And second of all, I knew it was expensive, but I had no clue it was. The glass bottle is protected by a thin metal alloy coated with hand-polished onyx enamel, inlaid with 341 Swarovski crystals. No, exactly how many crystals are you going to get? That's insane. I am dumbfounded by these bottles and these prices. I have to send this to Rich. I sent him the story, but I didn't send him the prices. I got to send this to Rich. Looking down on us peasants. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We'll just fly you. I'll just fly to Anuja's warehouse and smell everything. They are taking the piss there. That is outrageous. All right, let's spray this. Let's Let's spray this No Rules. No Rules. Okay, No Rules is going to go right elbow. OD on Anuja's Warehouse. That's right. I'd rather OD on Vintage Sense than one bottle of a Mafi. They are taking the piss. $7,100. Get the fuck out of here. All right, No Rules. What do you think this one's going to be? What music scene are they going to try to tie this to? I don't really like this one as much right out of the gate as I thought I would. It's very heavy on like the saffron, but now that that's starting to fade a bit, I like the leathery bit that's coming through. There's apparently a vinyl note in this. Let's pull this up. I think this is the Antoine Lee. Man, all of these other fucking Jusbox fragrances like killed my hell, after looking at that Amalfi prices, Kriegler prices sound pretty sane. What are they, like $1,300 or something? I would love a bottle of Kriegler's established cognac. That's been on my radar forever. They also have one called Highness Oud, which was sort of a bespoke fragrance for King Hussein of Jordan in the 80s. I think they made it for him. That would be cool to smell. Jusbox, No Rules. All right, so let's see what sort of crazy inspiration they used for this one. Aromatic woody. It is the Antoine Lee. There's just something weird in the opening. They say it's aldehydes and ethereal saffron, and that aldehyde saffron thing is creating this weird chemically. I think saffron in really high doses can give off this chemical. Plus, I've got this micro love right here, which is just a chemical bomb. London calls, punk answers. The UK's capital city gives birth to the revolution, losing the melody and drowning in noise. It's an explosion, creating a new way of life. DIY is punk core's philosophy. Independent labels self-produce new sounds where thrashing drums and bass are soared over by distorted guitars. A new musical expressionism which rejects social control. God save the Queen. God save us. 78 mils, $195. No Rules. Punk is a rebellion against the canons of traditional music form. It's a rejection of the controlling system of everyday life and an antidote to conservatism. Punk is a new humanity where vice is celebrated as virtue. In the creation of No Rules fragrance, master perfumer Antoine Lee expresses olfactory tension and creative irreverence through the sublimation of antithetic chords, crystalline notes of aldehydes combined with fleeting notes of ethereal and saffron. In the heart, Swedish notes of vinyl meet warm hints of cinnamon, whilst lavender pays homage to tradition. In the dry down, birch bark woody accord melts with the intensity of leather and is overturned by the freshness and purity of musk. The fragrance is freedom, a new form of creative art. The inspiration was a music and emotional tension sublimates the inner conflicts of social and cultural rebellion. Punk is a no convention sound. It has no rules, just one diktat. Do it yourself. Okay. I'll be interested to see how this one dries down. This is the one I'm probably most interested in the dry down since it's an Antoine Lee. The opening is tough. I'll tell you that right now. The opening is that's a lot of saffron and it's very chemically. And the aldehydes, I think, make that a tough one from the first spray, but I'll be interested to see as it dries down whether that leathery, birchy vinyl accord comes out more. A used car anyway. Yeah, that's right. That's insane, dude. It really is crazy. I mean, I hate Bodicea. Bodicea, the overpriced, I am not a fan of. So yeah, it's I mean, I'm gonna say black powder is probably my favorite from the bunch. Let's go through them again. So first we had the Amy Winehouse one, which was the Sirens and Sailors. Even after that Osmanthus and Peach came out, I still didn't really like what it did. The boozy accord is not very well put together. The rose accord is just really candied, overwhelming. Yeah, not a fan. Tom of Finland's better, actually, I think, in the opening than this. Although this may go a little bit more interesting than Tom of Finland into the dry down is the thing that gets me. That's why I'm most interested to see how this one, you know, what it does, how it performs, because the opening is almost a little bit of a letdown, but I'm thinking that there's redemption as it continues to dry. That's my guess. The lavender's starting to come through a little bit. But yeah, that's a pretty challenging opening. Probably the most challenging of the 6 so far was the opening of Antoine Lee's No Rules. So yes. But yeah, that's a good shout. That is a good shout, GMG, although I don't think there's very much vanilla in here. There may be, but definitely not as much as Tom of Finland. So probably the biggest letdown, the one that I was most excited about that was a letdown, is probably the Amy Winehouse. They really just they killed this one. God, that rosiness is just, it's really not well done. Really not well done at all. And then the black powder, I think this is probably my closest to my taste. Yeah, black powder is the one that's closest to my taste for sure. It is. It's turning very, it's turning a little bit more ashy even. And I like that pimento because it gives it kind of a throwback vibe to the, it gives it sort of a throwback vibe to the 80s. That pimento, you found that a lot in fragrances like Patu Pour Homme and stuff like that. So this is good. This is good, but I think Rachel said it best when she said they just didn't go out enough on a limb. They didn't take enough chance. This could have been great. Instead, it's just good, and I don't think I would buy a bottle of that. And then we had Livin' Loud on my left arm, which this is the one that they said that Huela Mamucho said he liked much better after an hour. Where is Livin' Loud? Here it is, Livin' Loud. And I definitely do like it more. There's no doubt about it. That opening of watermelon and cardamom and coconut water and fig, just kind of weird. It's getting better. Definitely getting better. I wouldn't buy it, but it's definitely the most improved on the dry down. Livin' Loud is the most improved so far. I haven't had a chance to see what No Limits dry down is going to be like. But Living Loud is definitely much improved. I wouldn't say good, but much improved. And then we had Micro Love on my right arm. That's the one I hate the most. This one is just, it's not even, it doesn't smell like a fragrance. It just smells like a weird, fluffy, ozonic like smell. Very futuristic and weird fragrance. Yeah, I know what they were going for here, but it's not for me. That is just, yeah, that's not for me. And then we had Golden Serenade, which this is probably the one that most surprised me because I like this style. Obviously, this heavy, brash, in-your-face Middle Eastern style of saffron and oud and patchouli and a Papanax and amber extreme. You've smelled this before. This is nothing new, this Golden Serenade, but this is the one that probably surprised me the most. I like this, but I like this style of fragrance. So, that's not a very tall ask. But for $330 or whatever they're asking for, no way, Jose. Not unless it was extremely discounted. But as far as biggest surprise, I would say it's Golden Serenade, and then finally the Antoine Lee. And it is changing. It is. I'm liking it more and more now. The opening is challenging, but I have a feeling this one might end up being my favorite. PDT is the Parfum de Toilette. That's what Guerlain used to call sort of their EDP version. They didn't have like a unified version in the 80s. So different companies just sort of use different things. Chanel said Eau de Toilette Concentré. Guerlain used Parfum de Toilette. There's a bunch of different ones that are sort of out there, because there was just no unified. The industry hadn't really decided on EDP is what we're going to call an EDP. So all these different houses just use their own verbiage. Yes, I am going to do another crazy countdown for the 4K. Yes, I am. Yes, I absolutely am. I did a designer countdown for 3,000, and I think I'm going to do a niche countdown I think I'm going to do a niche top 100 for 4,000. So yes, I am. Indeed, Black Monday. Tom of Finland's just been renamed to Clean Suede. I'll wait a couple years to sell mine to some vintage hunter. That's insane, dude. If you have the vintage bottle of Tom of Finland, even more credit to you. This is what the original bottle looked like. Huh? Who wants to pay me $1,000 for a 50 ml Tom of Finland, eh? I mean, it is good. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. It's a good vanilla leather. There's a weird like lemon pie thing in here, though, that doesn't, it keeps it from being a love. It keeps it from being one of Antoine Lee's better fragrances, but I do like Tom of Finland. And because of all the amount of vanilla in here, once some air gets in the bottle, the juice color really changes. Finally got my nose on Rochas Femme. Shout outs to Taffy. I like it more than Mitsuko. It packs a bigger punch. Rochas Femme is fantastic, of course. One of the greatest Oriental chypres of all time, if you will. Hey, if you like Rochas Femme, check out Van Cleef & Arpels Gem Dunk. I know you like these little hidden gems. Huh? See what I did there? Little gem. So, yes. Gem by Van Cleef & Arpels is sort of an 80s take on Rochas Femme. They're both amazing. You can't go wrong. I mean, these are fantastic fragrances. But yes. Yeah, Rochas Femme is... love it. Absolutely love it. I used to have sweatpants like that. Congratulations. They're just Adidas. Got them from the good old Costco. The Costco at a discount. Costco probably buys like 2 million pairs or something, you know, so they get them for super cheap. This this No Limits is interesting. So the winners are, I would say, Black Powder, No Limits, and the Golden Serenade. And the losers are the Micro Love, which is just a terrible name for a fragrance, Sirens and Sailors, and Livin' Loud. But Livin' Loud's probably the, I guess, the better of the three, if you want to call it that. Probably no full bottles for me, though, of Jusbox. I'll tell you that. So usually my voice starts to go out at about 2.5 hours. So we probably have about 15, 20 minutes left because I still got to go on my daily run. So I can stay fit. I think I'm gonna blind buy this Xenia Ulm. The reviews are promising. You're blind buying a Xenia. Are you drinking, Dunk? When would a perfume considered vintage? Some guys selling 2001 L'Air Bleu as vintage. 20, 25 years is usually, yeah, that's fair. I mean, maybe before 2000. But yeah, I guess it's tough because technically I think of vintage as like a version before the version they have now. So technically, you know, the Guerlain bottles that are in the, I mean, if you want to be technical about it, these are now vintage because now the new bottles are in the square L'Homme bottles. So, you know, it's vintage thing can be tricky, but they always try to sell it as vintage because they can mark it up. You know, that's the big thing now all of a sudden. Yeah, I think 20, 25 years is fair. Ah, greetings from Bali. What's up? What's up, my friend? Thanks for being here. A niche 100. Yes, I know. Should I do it live? I like to do those just videos usually on its own, but usually because a live stream 100 fragrances, I got to just get through it. If I do a live stream and I got to read, you know, foreign language comments for hours, I might be here for days. Adidas 85 is the best one. Sergio. Ah, Alan, what's up, brother? Thanks for being here. I got your package. I got your stinky package, by the way. We're going to do a blind sniff. We're going to do a blind sniff very soon. Which scents did you back up the most for me? I have 4 Dolce & Gabbana's Pour Homme. Damn. My most backed up are probably Koros or Antaeus. I think I have 4 Antaeuses and maybe 4 Koroses. I can't remember. Maybe 5 Koroses. Yes, Golden Serenade. That's the one that I said really surprised me. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I like it. It's definitely not worth $330, but it's good. The clove in it is just a little strong. That's one of the biggest things I could pick out. That clove bud or whatever they're calling it is really, really turned up, but it's good. I like it. So, where Jusbox sit on a scale from unique luxury to Guerlain? Probably just above unique luxury. They're not unique luxury, to be fair to this brand. This is not unique luxury. Unique luxury is the basement and will always be the basement unless some brand comes along and kicks them out, which I think is going to be hard to do. That is one of the worst brands I've ever smelled. But they're a little bit ahead of unique luxury. But yeah, still very close to the bottom, GMG. That's why I did this all together. I didn't want to do a video on one. I didn't think it was worth it, you know. It's let's just knock it all out, put them in the Dom box, and move on, you know. Unique basement. Man, although if you want to laugh, go watch my unique luxury live stream. That was some funny shit. Reading those blurbs where the English wasn't even correct, or it's like, I mean, even them trying to describe an ingredient was hilarious. They were like, patchouli is in most of all of the uncompromising fragrances of most complimented men. Like, what are they talking about? Yes, it's bad. Really bad, especially since they're asking for $200 or $300 a bottle or whatever it was. I recently copped vintage Jeffrey Bean gray flannel. Don't love it. Don't hate it. Keep spending more time with it. Keep spending more time with it, Michael. It'll grow on you. That is an extremely complex formula with lots of really expensive stuff in there. Yeah, that's an extremely expensive formula. It's a grower indeed. Yes, yes, it is. Yes, indeed it is. Well, Jusbox, you have earned your right to go into the Dom box with the rest of our live stream. I'm actually running out of room. I don't know if they're going to fit. All the stuff we did in the past. The Amouage sample set. The Fragrance Dubois. What else is in here? The Parfums Cortanas. Old Papillons. Some old Ducitas that we did videos on. All kind of crazy shit in here we've already talked about. This is the already talked about on the channel box. So, Jusbox, in you go. I'm going to need another Dom box very soon. I'm going to need another Dom box. Ah, there you go. Feels good clearing those 6 juice boxes off of the shelf. I've been looking at those things for like a year. Glad to be done with them. Yep. Eventually a love. You'll like it, Micah, for sure. Over time, it'll grow on you. The way that the that violet leafy gasoline like accord, you'll see the transition into something like Fahrenheit later on, and then even into something niche like Portrayal Man. I mean, Gray Flannel was a very, I think, inspirational fragrance, and the florals in there actually are really, they are out of this world. For a man's fragrance to have that many beautiful floral notes, and they're so well executed and fresh. And I mean, you can see inspirations from Gray Flannel to everything like Green Irish Tweed to the, like I said, the gasoline note in Fahrenheit, even the florals in Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit has a lot of florals. Well, you never know when you're going to need to smell it. Someone the other day was like, in Oud Picante, do you pick out this note? And I was like, shit, I got to go back and fucking like respray it or something. Like I haven't smelled it in a year. So yeah, I mean, having a channel, you need shit like that. So when someone's like, oh, you said that No Limits had this, this, and this, and you don't know what you're talking about. At least I can go in there and pull it out and spray it again and see what the hell they're bitching about. I bought Gray Flannel because I felt sorry for it, collecting dust at the Ross shelf. It's discontinued now. I adopted Gray Flannel. Gray Flannel's the Rodney Dangerfield of perfume. Probably turned vintage sitting there. That's good stuff. It's a time capsule. Yes, it is. It really is. It's it is good. And even the newer stuff I thought wasn't bad, but if you can get the older bottles, I've got a Jacqueline Cochrane distributor, so that is 80s. I've got an 80s bottle of it from Anuge, and it is great stuff. The only thing is I got to decant it because the sprayer doesn't spray that great. But once it's into the decanter, it's awesome. I love it. I love it. One of the best 70s scents for me. You guys got probably 10 to 15 minutes left. What do you want to talk about? I am an open book. Let's see what that's right. I'm going to need another bottle of Dom. I usually get them from Costco when they go on sale for cheap, because Costco buys them in bulk, so you don't have to pay as much. But yes, I am going to need another bottle of Dom for sure. I wear Eau de Narcisse Blue Hermes more often, but I have a bottle of gray flannel. I've never smelled that one, Micah. Jacqueline. That's right. Cochrane. I will tell you what we have sitting up here in the sample section for next time. So here's our choices for next time for the next live stream. We have a blind sniff, which has been Glitch actually sent me a blind sniff long ago that I've been sitting on that I haven't gotten to yet. So we have a blind sniffing session, or we have House of Matriarch. We have Mar Olfactif. You guys know this Mar Olfactif house? They look like this. So we've got a live stream potentially on Mar Olfactif, which this guy's kind of cool. He's like a one-man shop. I always decant it normally into sprayers. It's just like I prefer to spray. What is Iron Duke? What is this? Why do I not know this Iron Duke? Ah, Beaufort. Oh, yes. Discounters, absolutely go for it. I'm like, what is it? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I have a bottle. Yeah, I'd say go for it, GMG. You'll like it. This is actually the reason why I never bought Royal Tobacco from Amouage. If you can get this for $100, it's a steal. And Lapidus Oud Noir, never smelled that one. Have you ever smelled Roger and Gallet Vetiver? No. I'd love to try the Bally. Too pricey to blind buy. What's his name? Found it for $20, the lucky bastard. Black Monday found a bottle for $20. Are you going to try the new Les Indemodables? Yes. I mean, if someone sends me a sample, I'll try. I don't buy samples. I'm done buying samples from brands because I have so much to talk about. You know, like I have so many videos to do. So many samples to talk about. There's no need for me to buy samples, but if a sample falls in my lap, I will talk about it. There is also, as far as like live streams go, where we can knock out a bunch at once, where I don't have very high hopes, kind of like Jusbox. There's this brand right here, this Astrophil and Stella. I've got like 6 of these or 7 of these or something we haven't talked about. So Astrophil and Stella, Mar Olfactif, this Mar Olfactif brand. House of Matriarch. There's a ton of samples on the House of Matriarch. And I mentioned the Imaginary Authors earlier. That's a live stream or 2 still. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 4 or 5 live streams right there. And that doesn't even mention some of these sample sets I haven't gotten to yet. Like, for example, I've got this Hiram Green sample set I've been wanting to talk with you guys about for like a year, and I haven't gotten to it yet. And it's basically the whole kind of set right there. Slow Dives right there at the front. So yeah, there's a bunch of lives that I still want to do, but they're just sort of waiting. They're just waiting for time. 70% full perfume. God blessed me with a 5-bottle haul for $100. Came with Boss Number 1 and others, but the Bally is stunning. Worth $300 to $400 it's going for. Yes, don't tell people that though, but I agree. It really is. It's great. It is stunning. It's probably one of the best leathery fougères money can buy. Absolutely love it. Love the bottle too. This sort of marble bottle. It's cool. Copped Opus 9 Wild Loud Florals in the opening. That's crazy. I swear to God, that's one of the strongest fragrances in my collection. Opus 9 lasts like days on me. Sean is great. Mar is interesting, is it? Okay. Wellington fragrance. Never heard of that. You mean like beef Wellington, Boz? What are you talking about there? What else do we have? We have oh, you know what everyone's been asking me to talk about that I have been putting off is this brand. There's this where are they? I got too much crap over here. What did I do with it? I lost it is what I did. I had a sample set of the no, I'll have to find it later. I had a sample set of kind of this new up-and-coming brand that I was wanting to talk to you guys about. Pine Ward, it's called. I just need to find the sample set. It's got to be here somewhere. I've got a bunch. That could be like 2 or 3 live streams right there. I am swimming in samples. Like, I don't have the time to do all of the sampling that I wish I did, but we just knocked out 6 today. So when we can knock out a big chunk in one day, I feel good about that. So that's what we'll do probably with the Imaginary Authors and the Hiram Greens and the Astrophil and Stellas and the Mar Olfat. We'll just knock them out, because otherwise, if I did one video on Slow Explosion and then one video on Telegramma, and then one video on Yesterday Hey, it would take me like a year to get through all the stuff I want to talk with you guys about. So yes, I think knocking them out in a live stream like this is the most time efficient way to get through some of these samples and still be able to sort of at least put my thoughts out there in the ethosphere. Also sprayed Napoleon. The General. Heard great things about Pine Ward. It is great. I'm just wondering what I did with my sample set. What did I do with that? Where did you go? Where did you go, Pine Ward? Come back to me. Oh, well, I'll find it later. How was that fragrance that had the galaxy on the box? I looked it up and can't find any info on it. What was it called? The Galaxy. Oh shit. You mean Batu Ivre. Anuj has some. Man, my camera sucks. Yeah, and Batu Ivre. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Batu Ivre. Musky. Very musky. Slight bit of animalics. I think you'd like it. I think Anuj has bottles. It's good stuff. No one talks about this one. I'll do a video on this one day. Sold Cape Heartache after I bought a full bottle of Memoir, man. Just couldn't get past the strawberry note. So I had a pencil box when I was a little kid, and the pencil box had a strawberry sticker on it. And you would scratch the strawberry sticker and it would smell. And the strawberry note in Cape Heartache smells exactly like that scratch and sniff strawberry sticker. And I love it because of that. But if you did not like that strawberry note, I could absolutely see you hating Cape Heartache, honestly. I love it because of that. But I think, obviously, Feeling Agil is a better fragrance. Ooh, they're both really good. That's a tough one, man. Probably if you're going off of pure tobacco fragrance, it's Royal Tobacco. But I have a personal attachment to Journeyman because of the Cypriol in there. I love that Cypriol note. It's earthy and just glorious. And also it has that Sichuan pepper. So it's like Sichuan pepper, Cypriol with the tobacco. And so I actually like Journeyman better, although I think Royal Tobacco is the better tobacco fragrance, if that makes sense. All right, Boz. See you, man. Don't stop believing. Tell him about Tabak Vert. I have Tabak Vert. It's very good. Yeah, I love the pepper note too. What's your most worn tobacco perfume, Dushan? What is your most worn tobacco? Yep. I've got to run too. Sundowner's really good. It's a good shout, Dushan. I need a refill, and we have pretty much met our objective today, boys and girls. We finished all 6 of those juice boxes, so that was fun. Glad to get them off the plate. Next live stream will be something else, something like this, or some of these. So we've got a lot of live streams to do still. So yes. Oh yeah, go with Pavarotti, dude. Definitely. Small Toe's good too, but Pavarotti is like, yeah, I could see that for sure. Dessandra's, I couldn't blame you there. Could not blame you one bit. It's fantastic. One of Antoine Lee's masterpieces. Yes, you'll like Sundowner, Enrique. You will like Sundowner, my friend. The picture on the bottle kind of describes it perfectly. So yes. No juice box frags for me. I don't think any of them are full bottle worthy. At least not, this black powder one's okay. If I was going to pick one, I would buy the black powder. How about that? So, but I don't think I'm going to get it because if I was going to go that style, I would go with Sturkis. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. So, So yes. All right, guys. I appreciate you all being here for my first impressions on these juice box frags. Always appreciate the chat. You guys always keep it interesting. Thanks for everyone for coming and supporting and watching and commenting and all that good stuff you guys do. So everyone take care. Cheers. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.